Okay, in seconds from now, we will go across to our experts, and Gaurang Shah from Georgette BNP Paribas Financial Services will be joining in to walk us through the fundamentals of the market, get us some wealth creation strategies. Samit Chavan as well as Chandan Taparia joining in on the technicals. And we're trying to put up a fight there. So back at 7,800 mark for the markets, Kaveri Seeds, Indiabulls Real Estate and Adani Enterprises and Page Industries from within the broader markets are the ones which are actually trying to perk up. So almost 30-point recovery is what you've seen from the lows of the day. While the currency continues to hit a 2-month low, it's names like a Dr. Reddy's, a Bosch, Bharti Infratel, Tech Mahindra, Yes Bank and TCS which are actually beginning to perk up. What continues to be under pressure clearly is the entire banking pack, and while some of the private banking names are trying to hold out, so for instance an HDFC Bank is somewhat recovered from the lows of the day, so is the case with the Kotak Bank. It's the PSU banking pack which continues to be beleaguered. At the bottom of the pack, BOB, after its dismal performance this earnings, the positive management commentary clearly did not enthuse market participants. That continues to reel under pressure. Syndicate Bank, Union Bank, SBI, OBC are the clutch of losers which continue to be deep down in the red.
Okay, that's what's going on with the state of the market right now. Banks continue to be at the receiving end of selling pressure. Let's get in Chandan Taparia then on the show. And Chandan, let's chat about exactly that. What's the view on the PSU banking space given the kind of damage that we've seen there? Is there more downside? Is this a ripe opportunity to nibble in? And share with us your top stock ideas as well.
Yes, good afternoon. We have seen selling pressure in most of the banking counter, especially most of the PSU banks are making a negative price pattern. And this bad shape of the negative price pattern may drag it to lower levels. So the sign is not much positive. The pattern is quite negative in most of the PSU banks, so one has to be cautious. Talking about Bank Nifty, just a couple of days back, it fell to cross 17,000 and now trading near to 16,500 zone. Although it has multiple support near to 16,250 zone, it may respect to that levels. But selective PSU banks are continuously hitting the lower lows, lower highs. We have seen a negative pattern in SBI. It has formed a negative head and shoulder pattern and also broken its 50-day moving average. And because of that, the stock can go down towards 172 to 170 levels. Talking about other PSU banks like Union Bank, Canara Bank, Bank of Baroda, most of these banks are under the bear's radar and making a negative sign with the divergence of the RSI. So which indicates that some weakness might be there even after the recovery in the market. Here I selected to sell on Syndicate Bank if someone is looking for a shorting opportunity in PSU banks. This is the weakest counter, has been falling down from last 4 trading session. We have seen huge built-up of short position, which clearly indicates that the stock has potential to go down. It will continue selling prices, so recommending to sell with a stop loss of 66 for the downside target towards 59 levels. Now talking about the strength, we have seen buying in selective housing finance company. Nifty has been continuously trading in a pressure, although some recovery is being witnessed in the counter. But overall, we are expecting the consolidation phase is likely to be continued for next coming trading session. So looking at the entire scenario, we are recommending to go long on SKS Microfinance. The stock has been moving well from last 4 trading session. Overall, from last 3 series, it is continuously making higher tops, higher bottom formation. And as per its price performance, it has potential to move towards 645 zone in next 1 or 2 trading session. So recommending to buy with a stop loss of 612 for the immediate target towards 645 levels.
Right. Okay, those are some of the stock strategies coming in. And Samit, what to your mind is looking interesting in terms of individual stocks and trades that our viewers could look to execute?
Good afternoon. I'm looking at the Nifty's price movement. Nifty is clearly stuck in a range wherein 150 to 200 point has become a very strong range since last couple of weeks. And Nifty is now trading around its lower end, which is placed around 7780, 7760. Thus, a possibility of a minor bounce cannot be ruled out. We have a positive bias, thus both are on the positive side. Both stocks that we have selected are buy candidates. First one would be on TCS. The chart structure certainly looks good. On Thursday, we witnessed a good price volume breakout from its recent range. And from current level also, we see the stock rallying towards 2685. So that would be our target, and it can be bought on any dip by keeping a strict stop loss at 2480. Our other buy call would be on Arvind. Last week we saw a good price traction in this counter. The stock managed to surpass its recent highs, which was placed around 285 to say 290, and the stock is now convincingly trading above this strong resistance zone. Thus, going forward, we expect this momentum to extend. 316 would be our target in Arvind, and it can be bought on any dip. Stop loss can be fixed at 286.
Okay, those are some strategies to watch out for. Remember, the volatility index continues to rise for the second straight session, and as we speak, it's up about 7%, and seeing some pretty wild gyrations on the index, although remember we are confined within a band. Let's get in some top movers and shakers as well on the show then, and Mubina's here to fill us in with the details, and banks it is, Mubina.
Oh yes, a result reaction at that one. In fact, all of the public sector banks, you put your finger on any one of them in the pocket, they're all trading in the red, deeply in the red. Union Bank of India, well, that one, the results you dissect it in any manner, and they are certainly disappointing. The profit after tax has come down from 444 crore rupees to only 96 crore rupees on the back of the heavy provisions that the bank was forced to take. NII as well is just down by about 2%, and the Q for provisions stand at 1,560 crore rupees from 1,000 crore rupees along, and accompanying that is of course the gross NPA figures, a good 100 basis points jump up over there, as well as in the net NPAs 120 basis points jump up over there. So very bad results for New Union Bank.
Oh yes, and no wonder the stock is sulking and how in trade today. Let's get in a call then, Chandan. What's the view on the charts for Union Bank?
Yes, looking at the Union Bank, the stock is continuously making lower top, lower bottom formation. In fact, from last 4 weeks, it is continuously moving in the bear grip. Overall, major trend of the counter is positive, and after the recent bounce back move, again it started its fresh leg of rally, which is on downside. So as per its recent price performance, it can go down to us 103 and much lower levels by hitting the fresh 52 weeks low level. So the weakness may continue in the counter. Overall, shorts are intact in the stock, and we have seen selling in most of the PSU banks, and this exaggerate selling in the Union Bank may continue to drag it to 103 and then lower levels.
Right. Mubina, what else is buzzing in trade?
Well, it's AkzoNobel in the paint space. After Asian Paints did deliver a very strong result, even AkzoNobel has actually been able to live up to those expectations. Net sales has come in up 15% at 662 crore rupees. It certainly has taken a lot of benefit, a lot of benefit from the fall in the commodity prices, especially in crude prices. The margins have rather expanded by a good 240 basis points at 13%, and that's resulted in a profit after tax growth of about 18%. Additionally, the management has also announced a dividend of 50 rupees per share, along with the 20 rupees that it has already announced. That's the regular dividend. So that brings up the total dividend to 70 rupees per share. And this we are talking about with, AkzoNobel stock. So, and clearly, the management had said earlier that growth momentum will pick up in the latter half of the year, which it has certainly done so, especially in the quarter 4 results.
Yeah, indeed. Samit, want to come to you on some of these paint stocks. If you track an Asian Paints or an AkzoNobel and how the chart pattern is looking like when it comes to paint stocks.
See, generally from this space, Asian Paints is a stock which is highly liquid. Thus, we track this counter. Last week, we saw this stock giving a breakout from its multiple resistance zone around 890, 900, and since then it's been just moving upwards. The momentum is clearly strong. The volumes have picked up substantially in last 3-4 days. So that clearly indicates that over the next few weeks, the stock is likely to trade with a strong positive bias, and a move beyond 1,000, 1,050 cannot be ruled out. However, fresh buying at current level won't be advisable considering the risk to reward ratio. Any dip towards 920, 910 would be a very good buying opportunity. And this stock has certainly become buy on dips counter.
Okay, a buy on dip. That's the advice coming in on some of those individual stocks. And finally, let's talk about Capital First.
Well, it's quite a flip side when it comes to results for Capital First. Even though it's in the financial space, it has actually grown on all counters. Profit after tax has grown a good 30% at 47.5 crore rupees. Even the NII has grown. In fact, that one's almost doubled from 184 crore rupees to 306 crore rupees. So almost a 67 jump up coming in over there. Provisions, though, have risen a tad bit, especially when you look at it sequentially from 62 to 77 crore rupees. But still, the rise in the provisions has been moderate and not all over the place. So certainly, no bad news is conceived as good news in this market, and Capital First is really rallying on the back of those numbers.
Okay, thanks very much, Mubina, for running us through those movers and shakers in trade. Connecting with our viewers then, let's get straight to our first viewer query. Yash Vora joins in on the phone line from Bhavnagar in Gujarat with a query on PTC India. Yash, welcome to Riding the Bull. What's your question?
Hello.
Hi, yes, we can hear you, Yash. What's your query?
Ma'am, I bought PTC Financial share 500 rupees. 500 share at 35 rupees. What should I do?
1 year time horizon, Samit, what is your advice?
See, generally this is a very slow moving stock. Recently we saw good traction in this counter. The stock has managed to give a decent recovery from its lows of 31, 32. On the daily chart, clearly high top, high bottom formation is intact and the stock is poised for a decent up move. However, 1 year would be too long for me to predict such kind of stock, but at least in next couple of months the stock is poised for a move towards 50-52. He can hold his position, he can keep a protective stop loss slightly below 37, which is the recent swing low, and he can maintain his position at least for a target of 50-52.
Okay, here's another email query then this time around, and let's just bring up that query as well. There's a question coming in on from Chennai, in fact. An investor has bought Indiabulls Housing Finance at the price level of $75 per share. The time horizon, Samit, is 1 year. He wants to know what he should do with his holding.
Clearly, among this housing finance space, this stock is clearly an outperforming stock. Chart structure certainly looks good. It is trading its high top, high bottom formation. It is just maintaining its strong formation. Looking at the daily as well as weekly chart structure, this stock is certainly poised for a move beyond 800. He can maintain his position, he can keep a stop loss below 650 on a closing basis and can expect first target of 800, 820 and next target would be around 860.
Okay, that's the cue coming in on Indiabulls Housing. Thanks very much, Samit, for guiding our viewers and giving them advice on their stocks. Quick break right here on the show. Some wealth creation ideas on the other side with Gaurang Shah.